it's everyone, Stephanie and Emily, and today we are continuing with our Week Bingo series. We are checking off the travel-based challenge today. So to start off, my pick for this challenge was Eat, Pray, Love by Gilbert. It was actually a pretty popular book a few years ago. I think it was even made into a movie starring Julia Roberts, but I didn't really have a chance to really go and read it until recently. And I'd say that surprisingly enough, despite how cheesy the movie was and how much, I guess as much like criticism is thrown at the book a lot because of how much of it's almost sort of a trope of like this wealthy woman who can take off a year and go traveling. And most of us can't actually afford to do that. Right. But overall, the read was actually pretty entertaining. I feel like Elizabeth Gilbert was a relatively good writer. She was very succinct about certain things of her experience, why they were particularly reflective of her, maybe not necessarily of everyone else. And so the book itself explores her at kind of her precipice between her mid-30s, and she's going through this somewhat nasty divorce as she realized that she didn't really want to be married with the person anymore that she's with. And she goes through this divorce and she feels very depleted and void of mission and motivation, and she decides on her own to use her publishing advance to then travel for an entire year to 3 destinations. One is I read this book, I promise. But I remember one was Italy, because Eat, covering Italy. Pray was India, and Love was Bali. And so through all of this, of course, she didn't actually come up with this idea of Eat, Pray, Love, the title itself, until after her entire travelogue was over. But in Italy, she manages to sort of steer away from being around toxic men and wanting to date men. She as an author or a writer, her character or whatever nature she's trying to portray in the story is very male obsessed, which is, I guess, kind of interesting on its own. But she tries to stay away from relationships and stays really hard to be single, and she eats kind of her way to a certain level of happiness. She says, I'm not gonna watch my weight, I'm not gonna try too hard to count calories, take perfect figure. I'm just gonna enjoy what I'm eating here, take it slow. So she really embraces this idea of a slow food movement, socializing with your friends. But for some reason, I actually found her approach relatively refreshing. Sometimes when stories like that come out, I'm always like, okay, yeah, again, you met up with your epiphany in Europe. That's such a typical narrative. But she manages to make it pretty entertaining, and then she goes into India where she's an ashram. So it's a pretty rich woman's adventure. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty engaging. The love part. Bali. So she eventually ended up her way after going through meditation. No, not France actually, entertaining enough. But she found love in Bali. That's probably why it was all love, because her whole time she was trying to avoid toxic relationships, because that was her biggest problem in the beginning. She was a woman who kept on throwing herself into relationships and forgetting who she was. And then at the end, supposedly at the end of the book, she comes to a certain realization of herself in her 30s and who she is then and who she wants to be. And then she manages to find a man who suits that version of her at the time. So she's not one of those characters who have a defining sense of self throughout the entire story. She's the whole point of the book is for her to find who that is. And yeah, I would say that in terms of those type of stories, because I tend to find that those two are the 2 most common characters. One, they don't have a very strong sense of self and they're trying to go out and find one, or 2, there is a huge gap between their sense of self and how the world is and how they end up bridging it. So those are the 2 common characters that I often find in stories, and she belonged more in the former. But yeah, I thought it was a good read. That was a long talk.
Yeah, it was a very long description. So mine it's not going to be that long. I picked a book called WANDERLOVE.
I actually checked it out.
By Kristen
What is
Hubbard.
this book? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's Wanderlove by Kristen Hubbard. So basically, it's about a character, Bria. I believe she just graduated from high school or something like that, and she never traveled the world before. And she originally had planned to go somewhere to Europe, I think, with her boyfriend, who they broke up, obviously. And so she's like, well, I want something. She tried to get her friends involved, but her friends were like, no, like, we don't really have a budget for it. So, but like, her boyfriend at that time was like, well, you're not going to go anywhere without me. Like, cause she's very like, kind of like self-conscious and very introverted. So her boyfriend was like, well, you're not the type of person to just travel by herself. So she kind of took that as a challenge and decided to sign up for some sort of like tour group in Central America, especially specifically Guatemala. So she saw this brochure. She thought it was like, oh my goodness, it's divine. Like, I need to go there. And she signed up for this tour group. Little did she know the tour group is filled with like old people because no one really goes to tour groups anymore. They're usually filled with like families / older people. So she was just like, what about these like young people that are seen smiling in these brochures? She's like, this is false advertising. So she kind of like spent a day or two with this group, but she was miserable because she kind of wanted to travel and meet people her own age, right? Like that's the fun of it. And so she was very like sad about it. And she went to Guatemala and she met this guy called Rowan, who was a backpacker. They actually had met at the airport at the time, and she's like, oh my god, they look so cool. And obviously they meet again, and she kind of like was challenged again to kind of, run away from the tour group and just hang out with backpackers instead. She was kind of tricked into doing that by Rowan, actually, because Rowan didn't tell her that the hostel they were staying at has like a one-way ticket because there's no way back across the river until the next day. Mm-hmm. So she was just like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'll just, go there for dinner with them and come back. And she gets there and they're like, oh, you missed that was the last ferry, the one that you went on. So she was kind of like screwed in that sense, but then she took it as a chance for her to kind of just escape the tour group. Obviously the next day she went back and told them that I'm not going to be here anymore, so they won't freak out. And then the tour lady was like super pissed. But anyways, that's another story. So basically it follows her along this escape where she went to Guatemala, decided to join his backpackers, specifically Rowan and his sister, and kind of learn more about herself and the struggles. It was definitely a coming of age story, especially since in the beginning she was this timid, introverted girl, never traveled before, and at the end she was really taking strides and figuring out how to navigate the world by herself. Specifically in a country that was, relatively dangerous, I guess. Underdeveloped. Well, yeah, but in certain areas of Guatemala, yes. So she had to really use her common sense, be on her guard, etc. So I really like this book just because I like traveling, and this kind of was a really interesting guide for me, specifically on how backpackers travel. Because a lot of the hostels they stayed at were like really dingy, and she would at times she'd be like, yeah, I definitely saw some creepy crawly, and I was just like, if you saw a creepy crawly, I would not be staying there. I'm like, see you later. But I guess at that time she was just like, well, am I in a situation? Might as well make the most of it, So I really enjoyed this book. I thought it's easy. It's great for summer, actually. It's perfect for summer. And if you like traveling, especially learning about different countries, different continents, I think that'd be good.
So I have 2 points. One, being introverted does not mean that you're fearful. Introvertism is just like, I feel like you're saying that she's more timid.
Well, I did say she was timid.
No, you said she was shy and introverted. I feel like you were using introvertism as like a placement word for timid, which they're like two very different things.
They're very different, but the thing is, because she was introverted, she also didn't want to step out of her comfort zone. Because introverted people usually don't shy away from people, right? That's the whole purpose. So
no, it's more of a nature, because I'm introverted, which is why I'm
protesting. But you also don't like to hang out with people.
No, it's because it's not people that I'm tired of. It's just more like, it's this idea that I constantly need to pay attention to everyone all the time. That is So like if I didn't have to pay attention to people, being like just sitting here, it's like a lot easier. It's like it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But like if you are like there's so many people talking to me all the time, yeah, then it gets into a little bit more of like an energy sap because it's like, oh, I constantly have to like sort of re-engage with like what you're saying, trying to come up to your approach. It's just like overall, like I think introversion that makes you overthink a little in terms of social context, which is why it saps your energy more. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I am more, I guess, like uncomfortable stepping out of my comfort zone. A lot of times, like people would be surprised that like half the time that I've actually like traveled to places that no one else has traveled to, or like I've gone on my own and
maybe
so that's why I was saying
introverted. Like she was more timid, but she was definitely shy.
Yeah.
You know, so she was definitely someone who never stepped out of her comfort zone.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that, like...
Okay, so what was point number 2?
Point number 2 was that I thought it was really interesting that we both picked books that started off with breakups of obviously various natures, but it was like, I guess it does kind of take a big event for, like, I guess in stories.
I feel like in especially people who travel for the first time, usually something happened for them to travel, unless you've grown up traveling.
Yeah, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's cool. Thanks.
Also, she also was an artist. So she was always like, that was something that she was struggling about because the reason why she was with her boyfriend before was because they were both artists, and the reason why they broke up was because her boyfriend realized that she was better than him. And he's one of those type of people that can't stand people better than him, so he kind of just broke up. Oh well. Whatever. Yeah, so she was really struggling with the artistic side of her as well during the travels. So
yeah, cool. That sounds like a good pick. Yeah. So thanks you guys. If you like this video and want to say more about travel books, to have any more suggestions for us to read.
And also cross this off your challenge. Let us know what book you read for this.
Yep. Great. Thank you guys.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yep. And subscribe for new videos each week.
All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.